everybody, this is John for MTG Nexus doing a quick deck tech on Yamakiller's red-white prowess list here in Modern as we finish up the last couple matches in this league. As a friendly reminder, if you like Modern and Pioneer content, especially of the lightning bolt variety, please subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, leave me a constructive comment down below, so we aim to be the most informative Modern channel on YouTube. So, Yamakiller's list is an interesting one. It's a bit of departure from M. Hayashi's list that we've played previously on the channel quite a bit. It is a Luris Prowess deck, but it's lacking things like Goblin Guide and some of the other odd quirks that M. Hayashi had in his list, but does have the 4-Path to Exile main and the core of Mishra's Bauble, Seal of Fire, and then the creature base of Soulscar Mage, Monastery Swiftspear, and Abbot of Carol Keep. To replace some of the other cards that Hayashi had in the deck, Yamakiller has a couple copies of Manamorphose, and then he's also playing Lava Spike in the spot where I believe that Hayashi was playing Burst Lightning. So a little bit of a departure there. Beyond that, the core of the deck is the same. You're trying to get a Prowess creature down on 1 or 2 and then cast a bunch of spells, deal your opponent a bunch of damage. Or, you know, cast 1-drop, 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 or 1-drop into 2-drop. Then cast a bunch of flurry of spells, and then you also have the ability to refuel with Abbot, light up the stage, and then obviously Luris plus Bauble. This deck can do a tremendous amount of damage, can keep up on card advantage. Beyond that, not really a whole lot special going on, other than notably Path to Exile in the main deck, deal with big creatures. Tarmogoyfs, Core Firewalkers, Death Shadows, Uros, you know, all kinds of different problematic creatures that otherwise Prowess and Burn decks can have issues with. Sideboard, whole lot of graveyard hate going on here. Tormod's Crypt, obviously pretty good against things like Dredge and Storm. Soulguide Lantern is a little bit slower, but it is a targeted graveyard removal when it comes into play. It can also draw you a card or exile your opponent's graveyard. Pretty good in the Luris Mirrors, pretty good against Luris Jund, etc., etc. I think 5 might be overkill. I think 3 or 4 maybe getting like a Pirate Spellbomb and another Wear Tear in here. Or another Shrine and Burning Rage, which is an interesting piece of tech. This allows you to sidestep a bunch of creature hate. It's kind of a tick-down thing. It's kind of like one thing like a Pyromancer's Ascension type card. The longer it sits in play and the more advantage it accrues. Obviously, it comes and gets a counter each during your upkeep, and then for each red spell you're casting, charge up. Can easily deal 10, 12, 14 damage over 3 or 4 turns if you're chaining spells. You know, so this is a very dangerous card that can finish off the game. Not really out of nowhere, but it's kind of a looming threat your opponent has to be able to deal with. 4 copies of Core Firewalker. This is because the red mirror, you're probably going to run into it at least once per league. And then 3 copies of Wear Tear. This is a nice catch-all. Some spots you could run a Braid, some spots you could run Smash. But Wear Tear, obviously this is a shatter effect, but also gives you the ability to blow up enchantments. Notable enchantments that have been popping up a little bit more as the Obosh deck has become a little bit more popular. Obviously you're seeing Blood Moon, but you're also seeing Utopia Sprawl. Utopia Sprawl is their primary way of accelerating without it getting blown up by a Lava Dart, a Lightning Bolt, a Seal of Fire. So being able to catch they're relying on manual acceleration is nice. But mainly, let's be honest, Wear Tear is primarily here because of the card Leyline of Sanctity, which there are some fringe decks or decks that are picking up in Steam like Ad Nauseam and Neobrand that do play that card. That can be very problematic, and then sometimes even something like Tron will occasionally pick up a Leyline just when they want to get percentage points against Burn. And another deck that's also been picking up in popularity, which I've been fortunate so far, I haven't run into it too much with the red decks, but I have, like, seemingly every time I run Grixis Shadow, I run into Bogles, which is another deck that being able to, you can blow up their Leyline Sanctity, which is nice. Sometimes you can also catch, like, your opponent going, like, 1-drop into enchantment and to try to play the white enchantment that does very, very broken things. I'm drawing a blank on it. But they're basically their coup de grace. Let me look that up quick because that's going to bug me otherwise. I can see the art on the card, but I can't think of the name of the card. So the Bogles. card's name is Daybreak Coronet is the card that I cannot think of. It's nice sometimes you get to get a 2-for-1 there, and you know they're idiots attacking in, and all of a sudden they have a 1/1, and you get to block it with a Swift Spear, and their game's basically over. But Wear Tear has a lot of fringe utility, but mainly it's here as a smash, and it has a nice added bonus of being able to blow up enchantments, which can be problematic at points. That's it. Let's get into the final 2 matches, and I'll try to have a link above for the previous 3 matches in the league, as we did that live on stream on Friday night. Okay, we're back for the 4th match in this set. If you want to see the previous 3 matches, they were in our live stream on Friday night. Play, which is nice. Reveal our companion. Opponent is also a Luris of the Dream Den deck. This hand's quite awkward. We have an Abbot and a couple paths, a Lava Dart. I guess we keep this hand, but it's kind of awkward. Really don't like the thought process of accelerating our opponent, but sure. That kind of was a poorly timed bobble. I guess they're just trying to hit cards at this point. Sure. Force our opponent to react here. Or not. Unfortunate, but not unexpected, I suppose. So your opponent want to waste 2 spells to keep their abbot alive. Wonder if we're dead next turn. Feels like a really good chance we're dead here. Yeah, in fact, we just are. Alright, on to the next game. So we definitely want all the core firewalkers. Shrine could be fine in some spots. Lava Spike can probably come out. And Metamorphose Psi. So I'd like to play first. Hand's okay, but rather painful. But I still think it's a keep. Especially on the play. We get Soulscar on 1, Swift Sphere plus Bobble on 2, potentially Seal of Fire. Sure. Alright, let's try a monster. Swift Spear. Sure. Feels like we kept the old one land Core Firewalker hand, maybe. Definitely feels like that was. So I'm not 100% sure that Shrine's supposed to come in this matchup, but between the ability to potentially kill Core Firewalkers and the ability to potentially go unanswered over several turns and just win the game, I think the heavy investment's worth it, but once again, that's one of those things, when you don't design a deck or haven't played a particular deck list a lot, you're not really sure like what's the correct line to take. I think this hand's fine, it's kind of a controlling hand, but you know, can't necessarily mulligan to threats all the time. Apparently they don't have any threats either, including Core Firewalkers. Yep. Do the old light up the stage. That was poor sequencing on my part. I was supposed to play the Inspired Vantage this turn, Sunbaked Canyon next turn. It's pretty clear they don't have another Core Firewalker, so I'm just going to go ahead and path that. Once again, dangerous if they have specifically curious, do they try to bolt this or yeah, sure. Definitely regretting using that Path to Exile on the Abbot to a certain degree, but at the same time, Doing this, hoping to bait out the path. Way we can play Luris. Sure. Scolding turn. Yep. Sure. Well, it's going to gain a bunch of life. Go ahead and do this now, because even if they try to save it, it's still dead. Okay. Most unfortunate. gets to gain some life. Okay. Start by cashing that in. Trigger, trigger. No reason to attack this turn. An abbot, interesting. Okay, sure. Awkward hands, but sure. stage. That's a bit of a rough one. Wait, I'm an idiot. I don't have a Core Firewalker in play anymore. All right. Hmm. Yep, I think we might have lost this one. or dead either way. So, oh, these prowess mirrors get pretty silly. Back for the final match in this league. Opponent does not have a companion. Still think we keep this hand. It is a bit risky with only one lander, but lead off on Soul Skirmage. Ah, miracles. This is going to be a little rough. Let's see if they path here. Obviously, if they path, we're in a bit of trouble. Hopefully this resolves. Resolved. Unfortunately, we don't have another land drop. Okay. Yep. Check the counterbalance here. Just land on top. All right. Or at least we hit another lander up here. Sure. Curious to see what they put on top. A one drop, I'd guess. It's either a one drop or a terminus. Bobble's a nice draw here. They decline. Shocker, right? It's a terminus. 100% a terminus. Yep. Color me shocked. Let's do this, do this. Let's do this. 4, 5. Yeah, not quite lethal here, so let's do the thing where we okay. These are like extremely dead cards in this matchup. Stacking one drop on top. Noxious Revival. Interesting. That's annoying. What am I doing? Like, legitimately, what the flip am I doing this morning? Must be nice with all the blind flips. Oh, man. This 4-path deck off can definitely come out. 2 Shrine. 2 Wear Tear. Some number of Soul Guide Lanterns seem reasonable. It's taking away their ability to fight on that axis. Okay, interesting. Trying to maximize their F6 value, I guess. What you got this turn? Flooded Strand. Alright. Nothing to play around with the Mishra's Wobble, so I may as well just fire it off, get a little bit more information. No counterbalance is interesting. Just need to get a threat on the board. Force them to have a mana leak here. And we'll get lucky and hit a bobble. Oop. Unfortunate, but you know, we need to get a threat on the board, so. I don't think I'm willing to blow that up right now. No. And into Swifty is pretty nice here. They're taking a ton of damage though. That would be a nice draw. I'm just supposed to get my lowest value here while I can. Six Sanctuary is annoying, but with them only having Archmage's Charm to work with, all right. Play this out. It's got a purge on top, right? Okay. Get to at least see what's on top. Path to Exile. Shocker, right? Play a bubble. Play a bubble. One card in hand, which is an Archmage's Charm. We have a Logic Knot on top, which doesn't do a whole lot here. So we're going to get countered, aren't we? All right. Actually, playing this is a huge mistake. Alright, so opponent's going to tap out a counter magic, so they're dead. Cool. Let me do some double checking. Alright, cool. Nice to get the 3-2. And we're back for a quick wrap-up with Yamakiller's Prowess list. I apologize for this last couple of matches. There was definitely some huge punts in there just because I wasn't paying attention or whatever. Still nice to get the 3-2. I think the thought process that we had during the stream was correct, that definitely wants probably another threat in the deck, whether it's Goblin Guide, etc. Just feels like from a threat standpoint, you're a little bit light, which has always been a problem with Prowess to a certain degree. The draws where you have creatures, obviously, you're far better. I'm still not sold necessarily on these lava spikes. I mean, they're fine. They won us the game against Blue-White Miracles, but then again, wouldn't know Goblin Guide. Hitting them for a bunch, done the same thing. Beyond that, sideboard, I like a lot of what's going on here. I don't know if you want 5 Graveyard Hate pieces, but I think the Soul Guide Lanterns are a nice touch. I think having access to 4 core Firewalkers is fine. I really like the Shrine of Burning Rage tech. There's been some spots where that card was just absolutely astronomical, and if we would have drawn it earlier in the Prowess matchup in game number 2, we probably would have been a lot better off. Wear Tear, it's fine, you know, gives you outs to certain things while still being a smash effect. Gives you outs to Leyline of Sanctity, which obviously can be a problem. And then Lurrus. Lurrus is just kind of the linchpin of the deck. I think it makes the deck considerably better. It gives you a reason to play white besides core Firewalker and Path to Exile. There's some people, obviously, that are on like Pirate Spellbomb as opposed to just Path to Exile. I'm not sure how I feel about that tech. That's a little bit iffy, but maybe you could replace 1 or 2 of the Tormod's Crypts with some Pirate Spellbombs. Give you even more, a little bit more utility with Lurrus. I mean, honestly, it just comes down to you have the busted Prowess draws, and now you have the extra element of Lurrus and then Abbot. Some of the same things Bedlam Reveler was doing without the immediate risk of, like, you know, drawing multiple Bedlam Revelers or getting your graveyard nuked and not being able to cast Bedlam Reveler. You can always have, like, a bauble in your hand and then play it and then get value off Lurrus. And it was also interesting to note that if you play Lurrus, it gets bounced, and then play it again, you get another activation off of it. It was an interesting little piece of information to learn when our opponent Cryptic Command bounced it to our hand for whatever reason. But, yeah, I mean, this is one of the best decks in the format for a reason. And despite me punting and having some bad keeps, it rather easily 3-2'd. So, take that for what it will. For what you will. Anyways. This has been John for MTG Nexus, wrapping up this league with mono red, splash Lurrus, Prowess, pretty much. So, hope to see you next time. This has been John for MTG Nexus.